Poverty isn't a game, it's a reality for people in our own backyard. Taking the poverty challenge means learning what it's like to live in poverty by offering a unique, enlightening experience that helps individuals begin to understand what life is like with a shortage of money and an abundance of stress. It moves people to think that the harsh realities of poverty and to talk about how communities can address the problem collectively. Most importantly, it encourages people to make a difference. The story of an upcoming poverty simulation, next on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Lauren Lingell, and with me in studio we have Nicole Walker, Director of the UF IFAS Extension Office in Polk County. Welcome, Nicole.
Thanks so much, Lauren.
So prior to learning that IFAS and a few other partner organizations were going to be looking into the poverty simulation, I had no idea what a poverty simulation was. I'm sorry to say, maybe I don't get it out enough. But can you tell us what a poverty simulation is and what it looks like?
Absolutely. It's a new idea to me as well. It's something I've heard about just within the past year. But the University of Florida Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences has been helping to sponsor simulations throughout the state. I think ours will be maybe the 5th or 6th that I've heard about. The idea behind a simulation is that people come together for a couple of hours at least to participate in an experience that allows them to feel what it may feel like to live and navigate the systems that we live in while being in poverty.
So how does it work? I know I'm going to get a little specific, but so say I am going to participate in this. How would the simulation sort of itself look as far as, I mean, do I get I get a role, a job, you know, how's that work?
Yes, absolutely. So we come together physically within a large room, and in the middle of the room we will have families. We have a total of 88 participants. All of those are broken into families. Those are their roles, and they will be assigned roles. These families may...
So like mom, dad, son, daughter,
yes.
Is it traditional or is it just all kinds of different
All
families?
kinds of configurations,
Okay.
like what you see today. It could be a mom and dad with a couple of kids. It could be a mom with 4 kids. It could be a single person. So a lot of different configurations.
Okay.
So all of the participants are assigned into roles. And from there, they are given situation cards. And that helps them to figure out what's going on in their lives at that time. It includes their income. There may be other things going on in their lives, such as a close family member that was just incarcerated or arrested, or a child that has been suspended from school. Perhaps they've got to go to the grocery store and buy their food for a week, but they only have $8 left. There are a number of different things that could be going on. So as those families take their situation cards, we have a timer, and we will take them through a month's worth of a life experience. Okay. But that month is in 1 hour.
Wow.
So 1 week represents 15 minutes, or 15 minutes represents 1 week in the life of this family.
So it's like speed living.
Yeah, right, that's good, that's perfect. Not speed dating, speed living. So within that 15 minutes, according to their situation card, they are going to interact with a service of some sort. That service could be WIC, Women, Infants, and Children. It could be the grocery store. They've got to go to the grocery store. It could be the administration of their school. It could be higher education or a vocational school. It could be a church. They've just got to interact with some agency or service, could be nonprofit, could be government, could be a private business, and navigate through that service for what they need.
So what does it take to put together a poverty simulation? Who are some of the players helping you figure out what needs to be done?
Takes a lot of people and a lot of time to plan. So we're very fortunate to have some great partners. IFAS Extension in Polk County is basically acting just as a host, and it's being held at our facility, and we're the conveners. But there are a lot of heads that have gone into the planning. It includes Polk County government with the Indigent HealthCare Division and the Social Services Division. Also, Polk Vision has been a big part of this, and United Way of Central Florida. Some additional partners include the Florida Department of Health here in Polk County, Central Florida Healthcare, also the Healthy Start Coalition. So there have been a number of folks that have come together. We've put our heads together over the past, it's been 6 or 7 months. We've been planning for this event in February. All of those different perspectives have been essentially critically important. And those agencies also represent people who have attended simulations in other places. Most recently, Highlands County had a simulation, and there were several of our team members that were able to attend that one.
So what really got the ball rolling with the poverty simulation? What really said, guys, we need to do this, we need to get other people involved?
Within the extension program in Polk County, we have an area called Family and Consumer Sciences. And our educator in that area, Whitney Fung, has worked quite extensively with the 2 educators that are under her to provide nutrition and wellness education for families throughout Polk County. The guidelines of the grant require that families that are at 100% poverty are the ones to whom we target this education. So while Whitney was doing some more research about Polk County and what the need was, we found that there's a significant number of families that qualify for this type of education. In the midst of doing that research, she also found out more about food insecurity, also known as hunger, here in Polk County. Again, significant numbers of children and families that are dealing with hunger. We see that from programs such as the backpack program and sending food home over the weekend, where 15, 20 years ago, we didn't hear about things like that, and it's much more common now. So with that research and with Whitney's partnering with other agencies to address issues related to food insecurity, the simulation program came about, and Whitney saw it as something that we could bring here to Polk County.
I want to highlight that term that you used, food insecurity.
There's a lack of access to foods, appropriate foods. When people live in places where perhaps only a convenience store is where they can buy their food, convenience stores don't tend to have green leaf lettuce and tomatoes and other fresh fruits and vegetables, but tend to have mostly packaged and processed foods. It's fine if people want to make those choices, but when those are the only choices, then we run into other issues related directly to health. And then that falls into obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, other types of chronic issues that we know can be either prevented or controlled through a healthy diet.
And that feeds into Polk Vision's mission, which is healthy people, healthy Polk. Sorry, I'm not real sure.
Building a healthier Polk.
Goodness.
Yes,
Thank
building
you.
a healthier Polk. And their focus for the past several years has been tackling the issue of obesity. So that's really folded in very well with the Family Consumer Sciences mission.
So you mentioned that at the poverty simulation, only 88 people can participate. How do you determine who to invite?
Well, that is something that the planning committee came up with, and we broke down the target audience into percentages. So we're targeting people that are in business leadership in Polk County, as well as elected officials and administrators within government. There are a few folks that are community agency and community action groups. That would include some folks on the Polk Vision board, for example, And we even have a small group of college students that we have invited to also participate, just to add another perspective as you look at, these are our leaders, they're going to be in your positions within the next few years. So bringing together these different perspectives, these different resources, and these different talents to raise the awareness of issues within the community.
And it's also a great opportunity for these people to collaborate if they want to.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that we hope will come out of this. One important group that I failed to mention also is our faith-based community, that there is a percentage of the participants that we are asking to participate from the faith-based community as well.
So I would imagine they would have a great presence in the lives of some of these individuals who are in poverty. And so that's a great group to reach out to and get involved.
Yes.
In addition to the simulation, will there be any other activity, speakers, or anything like that going on?
Yes, to reach that goal of getting people to interact and engage and discuss, we do have a few other activities surrounding the simulation itself. So we will open with an introduction, a speaker, kind of set the stage for the situation, and then we have one of our faculty members from the University of Florida who will come down and actually facilitate the simulation itself. After the simulation, we'll have an opportunity for discussion. So the folks will get into small groups and really talk through and process through, in a facilitated manner, process through what they experienced and then what the next steps will be. One thing that our planning committee decided is that we don't want to dictate to people what they should do next. We would like to provide some support, perhaps a framework for how to move forward, but ultimately we want for these individuals representing their companies, their groups, their churches, their cities, or even the county to think about what are solutions that we can provide, what are resources that we can provide to residents who are dealing with the crisis of poverty.
Right. So when is this going down? When is our poverty simulation happening?
This will happen on Wednesday, February 24th. We get an early start at 7:30 that morning, and we'll go to 1:30. 7:30 is the registration time and getting in place, and then from 8 to 1:30 will be the entirety of the event. It's happening in Bartow at the W H Stuart Center. So again, we do invite people to come and observe. Already we've heard from a couple of professors at local colleges that they want to do this with a larger group of college students, and we may find that there are other groups that would really see this as a worthwhile type of activity.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us and telling us a little bit more about the poverty simulation. It's great having you. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Lauren.
The goal of From Poverty to Promise, a simulation, is to raise awareness and begin building understanding about the realities of living in poverty in Polk County. The event also aims to stimulate a more cohesive and unified approach to alleviate poverty-related issues. The event is scheduled for Wednesday, February 24th from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the W H Stuart Center, 1710 U.S. Highway 17 South in Bartow. There is no fee for invited participants or observers from the public. The event includes representatives from Polk Vision, United Way of Central Florida, the Board of County Commissioners Indigent HealthCare Division and Social Services Division, Florida Department of Health in Polk County, Healthy Start Coalition, Central Florida Healthcare, and the IFAS Extension Polk County. For more information, give them a call at 863-519-1045.